He taught me once that if you slash your wrist, it's more effective if you cut down the vein rather than across it. When he did it to me, I thought the blood would never stop coming. If I did that now, ran this broken glass down the vein on my wrist, there would be no one to stop me. No one to heal me. No one to keep me in this hellhole. I want out of here. Now. And I can do it. He won't be able to stop me, because it'll be too late by the time he gets back. He'll arrive and I'll be dead. And then... will he be sorry? Will he feel guilty? If he finds my life being lifeless in a pool of my own blood, my eyes glassy and open, a shard of broken glass still clutched in my hand? Probably not. I hold the slice of glass flat in my wrist. It's cold on my skin, but it doesn't cut yet. I just need to add a little pressure and it will. And I'll bleed and I'll cry. But I'll be out of here. I'll see my mom and dad again. I take a huge gulp of air, trying to force my hand down onto my wrist. But as I do, one name rings out clear in my head, loud as a siren. Ron. I can't leave Ron. I can't do that to him. He needs me here with him. I can't leave him now. I won't be selfish like Lucius is. Damn it. I press my lips together and fling the shard of glass out into the darkness. It clatters, it falls to the ground, snapping it in half and from the sound of it. That's 2 mirrors I've broken today. I sit back, pressing my chin into my knees. Lucius wants me to live. He might hate to admit it. But if he didn't, he would have killed me when Voldemort gave him the option to do so. If he didn't want me around, if he didn't care what happened to me, he would have let me go when we were at the Burrow, instead of risking his position, maybe even his life, to bring me back here. If you kill yourself, it would all have been for nothing. If you were to die, then you would really have won. I won't go so far as to kill myself just to spite him. He isn't worth that. Is he? I crawl into my bed, pulling myself up onto it and wrapping myself up in my blankets, pulling them right over my head, shaking and shaking until I unwillingly fall asleep out of sheer exhaustion. You belong to me. Your mind, your soul, your body. They all belong to me, and that means I can do exactly what I like with them. He smiles at me, looming over me in the darkness. Now then, my blood. Where were we? I bolt up, sweating and shaking. Nothing. There's nothing. It's just a dream. A nightmare. However bad my nightmares are, though, they'll never be as bad as what happens when I wake up. The candle flickers dimly in their holders. How do those lights come on, I wonder? Is it daytime? Do the candles magically light themselves as the sun rises outside? Or have they been not lit while I was asleep? Has someone been there, lighting the candles in preparation for when I wake up? No. Someone must have been here, because my dressing table is standing upright again. And the mirror is once more is whole once more, not even cracked, reflecting the room perfectly. Someone, and I bet I know who it was here, repairing the damage they've done while I slept nearby, shaking in my sleep because of the nightmare he had caused me to have. Bastard. Does he really think that he can just erase everything that he's done like that? What else do you think? He always heals you after he tortures you. I pull myself wearily out of bed and patted across my bedroom into the bathroom. I peel off my— oh my god, I thought it wasn't recording. I was about to be like, I will punch you in the fucking mouth. What? Hold on. I pull myself wearily out of bed and pad across my bedroom to my bathroom. I peel off my robe and get into a bath, wanting to wash it all away, wanting to cleanse myself of the memory of Lucius's hands on me. It's like when he touches me, he peels my skin away and I've got to bare blood and bones beneath. It's not revulsion I feel. It's not so basic an emotion as revulsion. If it were Dolokhov that had done things, it would have been 100 times simpler. But because it's Lucius, confusion makes up the bulk of what I feel. Fear, too, and hatred. So much hatred for him, because what gives him the right to treat me like some sort of possession? To blame me for what he's done, just because he finds it easier than blaming himself. But there's something more, like an ache I can't feel, a yawning, gaping emptiness that can't be filled. My soul is mine, not his toy to be played with. I get out of the bath, and I get dressed in the plainest robes I can find in my wardrobe, the one with the highest neck, and the longest skirt, and the longest sleeves, and the plainest color, black. I don't like the color black, that's insulting. I comb through my wet hair, towel dry it, and dab at the cuts and bruises with the healing lotion on my miraculously fixed dressing table, and get rid of all of the evidence that last night ever happened. Everything except my memories. The strongest evidence of all. It's not until what feels like hours later that someone arrives at my door. I turn around quickly, hugging my arms defensively around my chest, wondering if he could possibly want now after everything else. But it's not him this time. Run! Sorry. Damn it, I read ahead. I might cut that out. No attention span. Dolokhov stands in the doorway, his face twisted yet further with a hideous mocking grin. Someone here to see you, he says, coming into the room and pulling someone with him by the arm. I'm like, Ron! Yay! It's the only person that comes to see him. It's not like a surprise. I sigh in absolute relief when I see who it is. Ron. Ron Weasley. The only decent thing left in my world. He looks so relieved to see me. It forces guilt and love and heartbreak down my throat. How could I have ever thought of leaving him here alone? Neither of us smile or say anything to each other. We just take a huge step forward and throw our arms around each other. He nearly lifts me off my feet with the fierceness of his hold on me. All day long, he's been going on at me. I hear Dolokhov's mocking voice. It barely registers with me. I press my head into Ron's shoulder, breathing in the sweet smell of him. I'm like, sweat? Where am I getting the word sweat from? Okay. Oh, it's only... Okay, whatever. Smell of him. Sweet smell of him. I wouldn't believe that you hadn't escaped and been killed last night. Are you satisfied, Weasley? That your little friend is back? Back! He laughs horribly. That was not his laugh, it was my laugh. Oh yeah, she's back alright. Lucius thought of that, didn't he? Mudblood. That was me laughing. I found that shit funny. Ron's grip on me tightens. No, Ron, don't listen. Please don't listen. That was all in her head. Too late. Also in her head. Oh, Jackie, so fun. Too late. He breaks away from me and turns back to the door, facing Dolokhov with a tight expression. I wonder for an insane moment whether there's a possibility that both me and Ron could take him on. I see Dolokhov's wand clutching tightly in his hand. Magic powers is the only thing that matters in this house. Something sparks in my mind along with that thought, but I can't quite work out what it is. What's that supposed to mean? He asks. I look in panic from one to the other, willing them to go no further, not wanting Ron to know. But Dolokhov just won't leave it alone. He looks at the pair of us with intense malicious glee, because, of course, he must just love this whole scenario. He probably wet himself with joy when he heard about what Lucius did at the burrow. But of course you don't know, do you? You don't know exactly why she didn't escape last night. You don't know why it's her we've got in our power rather than Potter. Stop it! I said, that's enough. A ripping, tearing pain crosses my face. I clutch at my cheek, tears stinging my eyes as I watch Dolohov's wand raise apprehensively. He continues to talk to Ron, but he's looking at me. Every word he utters is intended for me. I know it. Last night, Potter didn't come to your parents' home alone. Dolahov says quietly, smiling at me. He brought half the Order with him to join the party. He walks over to us and begins to circle me. Ron watches his every movement, but I keep my eyes on the floor. And when it all came to a head and the Death Eaters were battling the Order, and all of those loyal to the Dark Lord knew what their first order was to capture Harry Potter, just what did Lucius do? He comes all the closer as he circles me. I keep my gaze on the floor. If he doesn't get a reaction, then perhaps he'll just saw it off. He leans into me, talking to me in a stage whisper. Instead of going after Potter, he focused all his energy on recapturing this insignificant little mudblood. He chuckles. He's made himself quite unpopular with the Dark Lord with that little maneuver, let me tell you. But why? Ron asked. Why would he do that? Doesn't make any sense. Dolop turns away from me and laughs as he walks over to the door. We chance to look up to see him pause at the doorway, turning to us with a horrible, spiteful smile on his face. Does it need spelling out, Weasley? He says in a drawl almost worthy of Lucius. Fresh tears roll down my cheeks as Dolahov leaves the room, closing the door behind him, locking Ron and I in the room alone. I roll my gaze downwards and I look steadfastly at my feet, trying to stop the treacherous tears that from falling. I feel all wrong. Guilty, somehow, even though I haven't done anything wrong. Not exactly. It was all Lucius. All him. Hermione. I work myself up to look at him from under my hair. He looks like someone who's about to discover that their worst nightmare has come true. Are you going to tell me what's going on? His voice shakes with pain. I can't bear it. I reach out to touch him, but he shakes my hand away, and I feel like slapped in the face. Nothing, I say passionately. It's nothing. You know what the law's like. He'd say anything. Is it true? He asked quietly, his eyes dark with fear. Is it true that Malfoy came to recapture you, even though he was ordered to capture Harry? I can't lie to him. No other explanation I could give would be remotely plausible. Anyways, you could always chance to ask Bellatrix, and wouldn't she be all too happy to back Dolahov up? God, I hate those two. What exactly is their problem? Why can't they just believe that there's nothing going on? Because it's not completely true, is it? I want to shrivel up and die. Yes, it's true, I say quietly. His face is vanilla ice cream, frozen and pale. Why? I don't know, I say half truthfully. How am I meant to know how his mind works? He takes a few deep breaths as if he's afraid what he's about to ask. Has he tried anything? Tell me, Hermione. I need to know. I'll kill him if he has. Has he done anything to me? Has he done anything to me? He's done everything to me, and yet he's done nothing to me. What kind of answer can I give to that question?